Well, it's really late night, but it's almost early morning, Poppa-D riders. I'm here at the Pilot gas station on Lowell Road in Knoxville, Tennessee. Today it's my turn. I'm doing my Monster 100 ride. I'm calling it my Mountains to Sea Monster 100 ride. I'm riding from Knoxville down to Wilmington, North Carolina, and then back today. And this ride is all about our heroes that have muscular dystrophy, Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Specifically, we're riding for Drew today to try to buy him a mobility van. We're going to buy Drew a mobility van. 2 riders every day since May 6th have been riding, and 2 riders every day will ride from now until August 11th, with the goal of each rider riding 1,000 miles and raising at least $1,000. So I am about $660 in, so I appreciate your support. If you want to donate, help out with this fundraiser, I'll put a link to the Give Butter here. You go to Mile Monsters Incorporated, there's information there. You can donate to me, you can donate to anybody else. What I'm asking folks to do is to donate a penny a mile for my ride today. That's a $10 donation, and that'll help us reach our goal and help these heroes live their best life. You know, riding 1,000 miles can be a chore, but it's nothing compared to what these boys and their families go through every day. And so it's the least we can do as riders to support them and help these guys live their best life. Get more information about Duchenne's muscular dystrophy at Mile Monsters, or just Google Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. I'll put some links down in the description. And let's get to today's ride. It's an iron butt, official iron butt, and it's a Mile Monster 100. Mountains to Sea Monster 100. Let's get after it. All right, guys, we're up and rolling. Had a little issue at the gas pump. It didn't want to take my card. It took it inside the store and came out to the gas pump, so I just used a different card and got going. And it's probably something I did there to make it not like that card at that particular pump. But that's okay. We had alternative methods to pay. We're going through downtown Knoxville. We've been rolling here just for a little bit. It's about 15 minutes after midnight, and we are on our way. Looks like we're going to have good weather today, and yeah, it'll be a good day. So I will catch you with you guys later on. Probably won't have the camera on much while it's dark outside, but we may do it a little bit. I'll probably try to check in at all my gas stops just to say hey and tell you how the day is going and how my timeline is and that kind of thing. So let's go along for the ride. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, we made it to North Carolina. We're in the gorge between North Carolina and Tennessee, but we're in North Carolina now. Getting ready to go through the tunnel, and then it's on to Asheville. And right now we are in the mountains at about 1,600 foot of elevation. I think we're going to climb a little bit before we actually start going downhill. I'll try to keep track of that for you. All right, guys, we're at our first gas stop. We're right outside of Chesney, South Carolina, about 18 miles away from Spartanburg. We just came through the North Carolina portion of this part of the ride. I'll be back in North Carolina in just a little bit, but came through Asheville, came down to Saluda Grade, and we are about 2 hours and 10 minutes into the ride. About 175 miles in. So I'm gonna fuel up, go inside, take a quick bio break, and we're back on the road. Catch you on down when it gets daylight. Gas stop number 3, including the beginning one, but the second time actually I've stopped since we started this morning. Receipt number 3, gas stop number 2. We're at Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina, and I got it down to 10 miles worth of range. So about ready to tank dry. It is 5:13, so we're 5 hours in basically. And it's not bad. 371 miles in 5 hours. All right, guys, we made a quick stop here at south of the border. Pedro says Drew needs to come see him. This is an old roadside attraction, tourist trap, just south of the border of North Carolina and South Carolina, in South Carolina. All right, let's head down to the beach. Well, good morning, sunshine. Maybe we get some warmth, man. I had to put on some layers. I got a little chilly. We're winging on down the road here, guys. About 100 miles from Wilmington, North Carolina right now. Go see my brother, wish him a happy birthday. Swing by and give my mama a hug, and then we're gonna head back to Knoxville. All right, I had to turn the camera on for a moment for my buddy Q for riding and wrenching. This is a little community he grew up in, and right up here is the school that Q went to. His family still lives here, so he says he's gonna have to go down here and visit him sometime, but Q went to that school right there at some point, I do believe. Q, you can correct me in the comments, but I'm going through Acme, Delco. And my brother used to have that restaurant right there, used to be my brother's restaurant. Anyways, I just thought I'd turn the camera on for a minute and make that comment. So brother Q, riding and wrenching us right here in Acme, North Carolina. And we are about 25 miles from Wilmington. It's still awful hazy out here. I guess it's still that smoke from Canada. Well, I'm having issues with my 360, but the USS North Carolina, the battleship, is right over here to my left. That's downtown Wilmington right there. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. Graduated high school here. We'll ride out and check out the beach and then go to my brother's house. Well, Drew, I'm having issues with this 360 camera, but hopefully it'll stay on. I used to go to school right here. The school burned down, but now it's an arboretum. But yeah, I went to school there in elementary school, Bradley Creek. And I lived about 3 miles from here. And then when I was a little boy, I used to like to come down to this marina right here and dream about living on a boat. It's a marina right here to the right. It's Bradley Creek Marina. Now we're gonna ride out to the beach real quick and see if we can get a shot of the ocean. I can smell that ocean air. And we are 502 miles into the ride, so we're over halfway of the 1,000 anyhow. I want to try to get 1,038 to 1,050. Today is day 38 of the Monster 100. I'm rider 238, Honor's rider 138. I'm riding for Team Honor today, and Honor is riding for Team Respect. So Drew, this is Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. They call this area the Southern Outer Banks now, but when I was growing up, it was just the beach. The Outer Banks are further north from here, the actual, what I consider the Outer Banks. But this is right down near Cape Fear, which is a lower cape in North Carolina. You have Cape Fear, then Cape Lookout is a little higher up, and then Cape Hatteras. Those have famous lighthouses at them. This body of water here is called Banks Channel. Right in front of us is Johnny Mercer's fishing pier. And then there's the bathhouses. I see folks up there with fishing rods. All right, let's see if we can get us a quick picture. Guys, I'm here at Johnny Mercer's Pier. I used to come out here and hang out some of the times whenever I was in high school, right here at Wrightsville Beach. So, Drew, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. We are halfway into our Monster 100 ride. So I'm a little over 500 miles in. Let's go see a little bit of my family real quick, and then I'm headed back to Knoxville.
Yep. You can have a donut, but you can't play my Galaga game.
Wow, that's harsh. Here, have a poker chip. All right. I got poker chips I can give out. That's got information about my monsters and who I'm riding for today.
Oh yeah?
So if you guys want to support my ride, you can go to that QR code there. It'll bring you to a great big link, but look for Timothy Marshburn. And I've been asking people to donate a penny a mile. That's like a $10 donation. How cool is that, Drew? I pulled up here and all these guys are waving flags and stuff.
Hey, Drew.
Out here supporting our ride today.
Hey, Drew.
So this is my brother's cul-de-sac, and they've got a really good neighborhood here.
Yes, we
They always come together and do stuff, and they're having a big party tonight because my brother turned 60 a couple of days ago. So I came here to give him a hug for his birthday, and then I'm going back to Knoxville. How cool is that for brotherly love? He went and got me a Starbucks. Man, Drew, how cool was that? How cool is that to pull up and see everybody waving those flags in support of our ride for you today? It really knocked me out of the park because I wasn't expecting that. My brother told me yesterday, hey, I'll have you a Starbucks ready for you when you get there in the morning, because he knows I like to get shots of espresso. I get 4 shots of espresso on ice with a little bit of Splenda, a little bit of cream, and that's what I like to drink. And he had told me he was going to have that ready for me, but I had no clue that all these people were going to be out there to greet us and be waving flags. So what that did, my brother had invited more folks in his neighborhood to come out there. Quite a few came, as you saw, but it's Saturday morning and I got there a little bit before 8, so a lot of people were sleeping in. They didn't make it out to be a part of that. But I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys that did. And what that allowed me to do, guys, was to talk to them about Duchenne's muscular dystrophy and how horrible a disease it is, and why this is so important, and why we're riding to help Drew and all of the other heroes live their best life. And that's what this is all about, guys. And so I really haven't talked about that on this video, and I'm going to do that right now. So if you don't know what Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is, you can look it up, you can read about it, you can go to Mount Monsters Incorporated. There's plenty of information there about Duchenne's and about our heroes, the boys that we're helping with that are affected and have this horrible disease, which is, it's 100% fatal. If you get this disease right now, there's no cure, and you will eventually pass away from it. And most boys and that get this disease are lucky to live beyond the age of 20. But what happens is, it's a horrible form of muscular dystrophy where your body no longer produces dystrophin, and basically your muscles stop working. They get really sluggish. It makes it where, you know, you think about you walking somewhere, you can just get up and go. Think about if you put a 100-pound weight on each ankle and tried to walk. How would that make you feel? That's how these boys feel when they start losing their mobility, and eventually their muscles just don't work and they can't balance, they can't walk, they can't do any of that stuff. The treatments for it are expensive. There are some treatments out there to try to help them be more mobile and be better, but it's very expensive, and nothing is for sure. There are some experimental treatments out there. And so what Mount Monsters does, it tries to help these families deal with all of these things. They bought Turbo, a mobility van, a couple of years ago. This year they're buying Drew a mobility van because Drew has recently become more and probably now completely confined to the wheelchair, not able to get up and walk and do things. And so he was just in the house and not doing a lot. And it's going to help he and his family get him out to be able to experience life. And then beyond that, they help with paying for treatments, the expensive treatments. They also, anything these boys want, I mean, like desire, be that Hot Wheels or a video game or anything that might make them or will help them live their best life, Mount Monsters will do all they can to help them with that. And so this year, our goal is $200,000. There's 2 riders each day, starting it on May 6th until August 11th. riding this 1,000 miles, and each rider is trying to raise $1,000, and that'll be $200,000 total, and that will help us buy Drew a mobility van and help these boys, all of them, live their best life. And now we've always had the 4 that we've been helping, or they've been helping. I say we because I'm helping with this, and I'm part of the Monster 100, but I'm no way a board member or supporting member or anything like that officially with Mile Monsters, but I feel like I am associated with it, so I'm saying we are helping these boys do this. So the 4 that they have been helping, we've been helping all along, are Alfie, he's over in Northern Ireland. Drew, the young man we're helping this year with a mobility van, he lives up in Pennsylvania. Gavin, the goat, lives out in Texas. And Turbo lives out in California. Oh, Turbo, while I'm mentioning you, my brother found out that you like Hot Wheels, and he collects Hot Wheels all over for his whole life, I guess I should say. And he got some Hot Wheels from his collection, brought them out to me so I can send them to you. So I'll do that as soon as I get home. But I got you some Hot Wheels, buddy, and we'll get them out to you as quick as we can. All right, let's get back to what I was saying. And then recently, Mile Monsters decided to try to help more of these boys that have muscular dystrophy. So there's a young man named Ethan. He was actually 21 years old, and so they're helping him and his family out, brand new into the Mile Monsters. And Ethan, you know, he's 21, and I told you a minute ago, you're fortunate if you live beyond the age of 20 if you have this horrible disease. But he has experienced what all of these younger boys have experienced, and he can encourage them and help them out. And so it's great to have Ethan there to do that. And then another little boy named Jack. And then there are 2 brothers, and I'm sorry guys, I can't think of the names, but 2 brothers in a family, and one of their grandfather is actually a rider in the Mile Monsters, a part of the Mile Monsters. One of those little boys passed away just recently, and it's just horrible. It's sad. It breaks your heart. You know, Chris Hopper was out visiting with Turbo the day after the other young man passed away, and Turbo was happy, excited. Hop had brought him something to put his Hot Wheels in, was really neat tire that made a case out of it. Tire that had been on the Hoka hay, and then, you know, his mom wanted to remember that family, and as soon as she said something about it, you see his entire expression change. And anyways, these kids have that reality. So the least we can do is try to do something to help them. And that's why I and all these other 200 riders are out here riding. So anyhow, that's all I'm going to say about that. But if you can support a rider, a penny a mile, it's a $10 donation one time, will help all of us reach our goal. I'm getting close to about a minute reaching my goal. So if you go in and you see that I've reached my $1,000 and you want to contribute, you don't have to contribute to me. Find another rider. There's 200 of them, and not everybody's got to the $1,000. Support somebody else's ride, but it's a worthy cause. And I hope that you'll consider supporting and donating to the Monster 100 for Mile Monsters to help these boys, these heroes that deal with this stuff every day, help these heroes live their best life. All right, I'm gonna get over here and give my mama a hug, and now I'm headed back to Knoxville. Thanks for riding along, guys. We're at gas stop number 5, and we are 538 miles into the ride. So 500 miles to go to get 1,038. I'm in Leland, North Carolina. Just gave my mama a hug. She's not too much for being on the camera first thing on a Saturday morning, so we didn't take any pictures or videos at her place. But quick stop at Mom's, get a hug from Mom, and now let's get on off the road back to Tennessee by way of Virginia. See if I can make it back for this banquet we're traveling call tonight. Been a great day so far. God has blessed me with some beautiful weather, blessed me with such a great family, my brother and his wife, and getting their neighborhood together. What a blessing. What a blessing. All right, we'll get on up the road. Well, ruh-roh, Shaggy. Well, we're 664 miles into the ride, and this is the first big backup that I've been in where I've just kind of been, you know, well, I'm 7 miles an hour right now, but I've been 5 to 10 miles an hour for just a few minutes here. But I think it's because everybody comes here. There's one stoplight here in town, but there's a lot of traffic on the road today. So we'll get through this light and hopefully it'll open back up. But I'm trying to make it back by 7 for a banquet tonight. And right now, the computer in the infotainment system says I'll get back at 5:46. I'll have time to take a shower. So, yeah. Well, let's get out of this traffic jam and get moving on down the road. All right, guys, I think I said something wrong before. This is actually gas stop number 5. We are 692 miles into the ride. And it predicts I'm going to get there at 6 o'clock tonight. But hopefully we can pick the pace back up. I've been in some bumper traffic. It says I got 364 miles to go. I almost forgot to get a receipt at the last stop. I needed to use the restroom. And so I got off the bike, went inside real quick. Well, they had it closed. And I stood there for a few minutes. And I got irritated because they didn't open it up. I came back out of the bike and almost left without my receipt. So I got to go do a bio break here because I've been holding it for a while. Let's get on. All right, Drew, this is Pilot Mountain right in front of us. If you ever watched Andy Griffith's show, we're getting ready to go by his hometown, which is Mount Airy, and they call that Mayberry here in North Carolina. And in that show, there was a fictional town called Mount Pilot. So there's not really a Mount Pilot, North Carolina that I'm aware of, but this is Pilot Mountain. And you can drive up there. There's a visitor center and hiking trails all around that knob at the top up there. So you've seen the sea, now you've seen the mountain. We're getting ready to go up Fancy Gap in a minute, and I'll film some of that. All right, Drew, we're getting ready to go up Fancy Gap. And normally the view is great. We'll be back over my right shoulder. You can see way back down in the valleys as we climb up. But there's all this smoke here that has come down from our friends in Canada. It's making it real hazy and difficult to see anything out there. I can imagine that you're probably having some difficulty breathing because I hear the smoke is a lot worse up around Pennsylvania. It's finally moved down here to North Carolina. So I'm trying to let the cameras roll and we'll see if we can get some pictures of the mountain. Welcome to Virginia. Virginia is for lovers. Drew, you got any love interest? You got your girlfriend or what, buddy? Had real heavy traffic going up Fancy Gap. And so we just continued on down till we complete the Iron Butt and get back to Knoxville. All right, guys, this should be my last fuel stop before I get to the very end to get my final receipt at the end of the ride. I've got 908 miles in now, and I am 148 miles away from the host hotel. Oh, I guess this pump isn't working. I got to move to a different pump. That's aggravating. Anyhow, I'll move around to get my receipt and get back on the road. All right, guys. So I made my way back to Knoxville for the banquet. I completed the Iron Butt in 17 hours and 41 minutes, a total of 1,060 miles. It was a great day, and then I went to Traveling Tall's banquet, and I'll include some pictures from that right here at the end of the video.